Once again, you already know what it is, and you already, by God, know where you have reached. The number one collaborative professional wrestling podcast anywhere in the world. You have reached Everything Pro Wrestling, and Hubbard Wrestling Weekly presents Clash of the Podcast. So happy to be with you on tonight, Monday. Oh my goodness, Monday, September 18th. The year is just flying by. I'm really fired up about tonight's episode. Got a lot of stuff going on, man, and it's really exciting to think about where the world of professional wrestling is. But I want to give a big shout out. Conrad knows where I'm going with this. To Coach Prime and the Colorado Buffaloes. I am not a Colorado Buffalo fan, but I am a major Deion Sanders fan. I'm so excited to see what the big Unk is doing for the culture, doing for college football. But anyway, enough about that. We're here to talk pro wrestling. So there's only one thing left for my good friend and colleague, Conrad Cushman, to do, and that's drop that thing.
It just don't stop.
I love that intro.
It don't stop. So listen, make sure you guys are passing it around. I'm still out in these streets, still advertising, getting the word out here for Clash of the Podcast. Share the link before Monday Night Football or Raw, whatever you're watching tonight. It's raining in Buffalo. I've been told it's raining in New York City. It's rough ones out here, man. It's a storming right now. I heard thunder just now too. And not that bad show that used to come on Thursdays back in the 90s.
Oh my God, don't you dare start with that.
We are talking pro wrestling tonight. Sean, I might let you get into some of the comments here tonight, and we will try to answer some of these.
Absolutely. Sir Quilly, welcome to the show, my guy. Always good to have you here. What it do, Conrad, Sean, and chat, your boy Sir Quills is back again to enjoy the double nickel episode of Clash of the Podcast. Conrad and Sean, I'm highly intrigued to hear your thoughts. Let's get it. Appreciate you, Quilly. Appreciate you very much. Mark Reviews 2.0 in the building, 30 minutes away. He put that up about 30 minutes ago. Thank you for the anticipation. Thank you for being here, my brother. BJ in the building. Appreciate you, my G. I'm confused by the title. What are we needing to fix? WWE getting the Rock back helps ratings. Hopefully it doesn't stop stories. Jade making moves, and AEW had a full week without Punk news equals wins. Oh, debatable, but that's what we're here for. Thank you for the comment. And happy Monday to you as well, my G. Vinny, God bless you, man. Always bringing the good energy. Happy Monday, boys. Go Steelers. I feel you. You got to support your team. God bless. Appreciate you, man. You know what I'm saying? Who's that?
Rob.
Oh, Rob. My fault. Rob, appreciate you being here. Quick wake the kids. Them boys is cooking again. You know we got to stir it up. Let's go, man. Rob, appreciate you. XGW, always a pleasure to have you, man. Hi to you too, man. Welcome to the show. Who is this now? I'm seeing my screen is jammed up. My screen is. Let me open up my screen. That's the reason I'm having this. Okay, now I see it. Doug, welcome back to the show, man. Another Monday Clash. Let's get to it. I'm with you, man. Jocelyn, oh my goodness. Am I reading this right? Happy birthday, if that's the right acknowledgement we're talking about. Happy birthday. Appreciate you.
I hope it's your birthday. Happy birthday.
Absolutely. God bless and many more. Many, many more. Deanna's in the building. Yeah, get to watch Hubs give Conrad crap. I don't know. Honestly, pre-production gave me the indication that we might be more on the same page tonight than you would anticipate. But we appreciate you being here as always. And you show a lot of love, Deanna. Appreciate you. Doug, once again, Sean, Colorado has the best story this year in college football. You are 100% right. I was talking to Conrad, and I was talking to you guys a couple weeks back. I'm a Notre Dame fan, and Notre Dame has a crazy story going for themselves right now. They're number 9 in the country, about to probably lose to number 6 in the country. But let's stay on task. They are the number 9 team in the country, but I am completely and totally invested in Deion Sanders, Shedeur Sanders, and Colorado Buffalo football. Hasn't been relevant since the 90s, and they are back. Dion is the real deal. Deanna says, Conrad, give Hubs crap. Okay, well, maybe that's probably what's more going to happen.
More than likely.
Derek. My guy, Derek. Yo, 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 yo. Come on, Hubs. What you got to say about your boy coming back? I have a lot to say. I think I got a lot of it off my chest.
Save it.
Yeah, we're going to save it. We're going to save it. Joel. Appreciate you, my guy. That's my friend right there. Hey, guys, Sean can't wait for Canelo, my dude. I can't wait either, man. I can't wait for his opponent, man. I'm thinking this fight might be a little closer than we're thinking, but we're going to talk about Charlo and Canelo coming up a little later on down in the month. Who is up next? Joe once again, Nagano and Fury next month. Love the glasses trio. Well, I'm trying to be like Conrad. That's the reason why I'm wearing glasses tonight. Non-prescription, of course. Doug says, I know you're a Notre Dame fan. We won't talk about who you root for, and the Browns lose again. Cleveland. Oh, you're saying the Browns are going to lose tonight? I agree. Ray Thompson wishing us a happy Monday. Same to you.
I got to give a shout out to Ray. You and Ray agree sometimes in the comment section in the Clash of the Podcast videos when Ray leaves his thoughts. So
thank God for people like, you know what? I love all of our viewers, but Ray seems to have my back a lot. Quills and Guy Will Gamble always have my back. McKinney has my back, but McKinney gives me a hard time, but it's a good hard time. Pause. So I appreciate him as well. Appreciate everybody. And you know what? M. Leezy for Sheezy has my back a lot too. Guy Will Gamble, what's good, everybody? Had to catch the early show live. Appreciate you, my G. M. Leezy, Sheezy in the buildings. Wishing us a happy Monday. Good evening to the best podcast start of the week. We humbly appreciate that, man. Derek wishing Jocelyn a happy birthday. That is a fact.
I feel like it's supposed to be Jocelyn. It's your birthday. Happy birthday. It's your birthday. Happy birthday.
I keep forgetting Conrad is like a DJ rapper. Like he's entertainment.com though. So
no, I'm retired. I don't spit bars. I spit fire. I don't have to, I'm kidding. I'm retired.
There's a difference.
Unless you send me a check, then I might rap.
Yo, we're gonna get Conrad to spit on the show one day. Guy Will Gamble, my boy Will says The Rock came back on Friday to see what's all the smoke Hubs had for Dwayne was all about. Yeah, I mean, I'm still feeling the way I feel, man. I keep scrambling my screen, bro. Help me out.
This one is Rob.
That's Rob again. Coach Prime till the wheels fall off. I've never stayed up. I was just talking to Conrad about that. The ratings
together. That's what I was watching it with.
Oh, that's what's up. Yo, 2 a.m. and I'm like locked in, Rob. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. I'm so fired up about it. 100%. McKinney's in the building. Yo, I'm here to talk wrestling. Let y'all know that it's a fine line of giving wrestling knowledge and coming off like an underwear pickle. Let's go. Let's move on. Tokyo. It's I can't even talk. It's not cooking. I don't want to see Rock versus. Neither do I, Tokyo. Thank you. Joel says minor prescription. Yes. Minor not. Minor just for show. I
need that laser treatment, man. Send in them super chats.
Will says non-prescription ain't no way, bro. Yo, I'm an icon, man. I'm a fashion person, man. That's what I do. Check out the clothing line. Not just wrestling. I do it for the culture. B-Boy Skyline in the building. Grabs popcorn. Ain't gonna be like that, man. We're gonna have some fun, man. BJ saying play. LOL. Guy will gamble with the emojis. Ray Thompson, outside of supporting my guy Cena, I agree with you a lot. I appreciate that, man. And I like Cena too. I just don't like him as much as you do. But I certainly appreciate you, Ray. Certainly appreciate you. Easy E in the building. Welcome to the show. He says, yo, and give me a beat. Oh, that's facts. We got to get Conrad to spit. Tokyo the Menace is talking about The Rock came back to Punk Theory. And the question is, was it really worth it? That's the question. McKinney says, I know I said I wasn't feeling Collision coming to my city this weekend, but Danielson versus Starks Texas death match, I might be in the building. That's what's up, man. Any chance you get a chance to see live wrestling, I say take it. unless you have some more important things going on. And Leezy, folks, Sheezy in the building once again, talking about I'm going to put my 2 cents. The Rock coming back was cool, but the ship has sailed, in my opinion, for Rock versus Roman Mania match. I agree. We're going to get a lot more into this as this show goes on. Easy E says, I want to see Cody get owned. Let's see that Boo Boo face second Mania in a row. If we see Cody versus Roman, which is more likely than anything else, I would love to see Roman win again. That's just a selfish pleasure I would like to see. Deanna says, Rock and Cena the same show. What year is it? I know, right? It must be 2012. I feel you. Tokyo the minutes. Colorado, 15 minutes. And next week against. You're probably right. Let me be realistic and say you're probably right. But what if they win? Oh, my God. I mean, Colorado is going to jump from 19 to maybe 14 or 13 if they win this game. It's going to be crazy. Ray Thompson. Raw looks good tonight. Good is always a operative word. Raw looks okay tonight. Drew, Jay, Cody, Dom, Ricochet, Nakamura may watch the whole show tonight. LOL, maybe. I will not be watching. I'm sticking to my what is the word I use? My boycott, man. I will not watch any WWE show live unless.
Let me tell you this: when you come from our era of pro wrestling, you good Raws mean something different to us. Like I'm like, okay, all right, this is Raw's been a run-of-the-mill Raw for far too long, or really bad for far too long. So this show, I don't know, man. Maybe I'm just mean. Maybe I'm mean.
No, I feel you on that. BJ says spitting hot fire like Dylan. I feel you. Chad, what up, Conrad and Sean? I can't wait to see Jade Cargill beat Rhea Ripley for the title. She is a beautiful peach. I'm thinking you're probably saying. I have very strong emotions about Jade coming to WWE, and I'm going to talk about that soon.
On the topic list for tonight, I promise you.
Yes. Vinny, once again, I hate when people say Roman should wrestle both nights at 40. Ooh, I mean, you can't really go wrong with him wrestling both nights, but let's finish this up. That undercuts one match, in my opinion. Roll with Roman versus Rock night 2, and Cody can face Orton, Punk, Cena night 1. I feel you, Vinny, but you can't really go wrong with Roman on both nights. I hear you, though. I definitely hear you. Rob. I had Conrad freestyling the Acclaim instrumental a few. Oh, really? Really now?
Oh, chill.
Okay, so you definitely have to spit on the show one day, bro. That it's a fact now. It's just maybe Christmas night when I'm in Miami, when we record live from Miami. You got to give us some bars Christmas night.
I'm gonna need a gift then, or someone gonna drop me something.
Yeah, we can do that. We got to make that happen. Doug says, I figured it'd be a good Raw since I'll be paying attention to Monday Night Football instead. Facts. As soon as you turn away, WWE does something crazy. I was not watching when Rock came out.
I don't know if you know this. Let me tell you this. Monday Night Football existed when me and Sean were kids. It was just nobody cared. Nobody cared. Raw got better ratings than Monday Night Football. It could happen again if people cared.
That's a fact. But
Triple threat. I hope you ain't talking about Rock, Roman, and Cody.
I mean,
that ain't happening.
I don't know, man. But let's get into. The comments is flowing in. We're gonna keep going. Easy E says, "Ain't no real retirements in wrestling." CJ, look at Batista. Batista is thinking about coming back. Another actor with nothing to do, trying to grace us with their presence since they have nothing else going on. But whatever.
All right. We're going to be talking a lot. Now, BJ said, why is this episode called Please Fix It? Because there's a lot of wrongdoing. Some that Sean's going to see. Some that I'm going to see. All right? We don't want to talk about wrongdoings within this company. We don't want to talk about wrongdoings within any other company. We don't want to talk about giving flowers and compliments and such. All right? But we're going to start off right now with some WWE talk. Let's start off here with WrestleMania 40. When I was a young man, we were in single digits. I never thought we would get to the day to where we're at WrestleMania 40. We're advertising the show. Everybody thought it was pretty much a lock. What's the match we're going to get at WrestleMania? Oh, it's got to be the home where the forefathers signed the Declaration. We're in Philadelphia. They got the Liberty Bell. Rocky's from there. It's got to be Cody and Roman. We've known this since he ate that dang pinfall almost a year ago at this point, it feels like. Got it. Until SmackDown. If you smell what The Rock is cooking. He came back, the people's champ, and now this conversation has come up again. Rock, Roman. Listen, Rock's only getting older. You don't have time to waste, Rock. If you're going to do it, you need to do it. I think it's going to depend on how long this writer strike goes through. What do you... I'm taking this down for a second. Now, if you guys haven't subscribed to Hubbard Wrestling Weekly, links down below. If you guys want to, click that little button to subscribe to hear Sean rant about things. I have vehemently disagreed with Sean about his opinion on this. Derek, stop snitching. I just saw what you wrote in the chat. I vehemently, because me and Derek used to be in the rap group.
I know what I'm saying. My guy Derek, I feel you.
No, don't be saying my guy Derek when he's out here telling on people. Sean, I disagree, man, about The Rock, man. I think The Rock coming back was a good thing. It was a nice surprise. He showed up for the people. I thought it was cool to have him come back. I was happy to see it. Don't take your time on this. Dive right in. Come on, just get in there.
I'm not thrilled by The Rock's appearance. I thought it was a nice surprise as well. The surprise was kind of ruined by Conrad, which was a good ruin. He was helping me out. Because I wouldn't have been watching live anyway. So when I say ruined, I mean that in a complimentary way. Conrad put me on, let me know that Rock had come back. Appreciate that, by the way, bro. And I just remember, the reaction. I called him. He texted me. I called him back. I was actually doing something at my church. And Conrad will tell you, there was some level of excitement in my voice. It wasn't completely ho-hum, whatever. But it certainly wasn't over the moon either. It certainly wasn't an over the moon, a massive, oh my God, Rock is back. First of all, this whole notion that
I can't really do it, so I gotta.
For those listening on audio, Conrad is giving a hilarious impression of the people's eyebrow. This whole narrative that The Rock is back, The Rock is not back. He came out for one night. He happened to be in the adjacent town of Boulder. He took the 20-minute ride to Denver, and he pulled up. That's cool. You know what I'm saying?
Sure, he pulled up to that game too. He was down there with Prime and all the twos in the locker room after.
No doubt. I mean, that's what's up. I mean, it is what it is. It's just for me, and I'm not going to go off like I went off on my show. I have a lot of respect for Conrad, and I'm not going to take this. I'm not going to use our platform to spit my narrative, but it doesn't mean anything to me. The Rock came back because he's on strike, because the actors are on strike. If The Rock was doing a movie, or if the actors were not having a strike right now, The Rock would have not shown up. I think The Rock's one of the greatest of all time, but I'm not going to sit up here and be all excited because The Rock pulled up because he had nothing else to do. That's essentially what it is. And no, I'm not singling out The Rock. John Cena's the same way. I'm so annoyed by this whole narrative. Oh, John Cena's given us 2 months. That's because John Cena has nothing else to do. John Cena wants to get. Is he doing it for free? That's a good question, Conrad and chat. Are John Cena, The Rock, and Batista, if Batista, are they doing it for free?
Now dang on well, you got to be crazy to be putting your body through that much pain for free.
So they're getting paid to make appearances, and in John Cena's case, and I do respect him for taking a few matches, they're getting paid. And it's no coincidence that they're getting paid and they decided to come back to be paid to wrestle or be part of wrestling when their chosen profession is on strike. I don't understand it, and I'm going to leave it there, Conrad, because I feel like another rant coming on, and I'm not going to do that tonight. I don't understand what I'm saying, the part of what I'm saying that doesn't resonate with. I'm not saying that we shouldn't be happy that The Rock made an appearance, but the context of that appearance should be taken into consideration, and the circumstances of that appearance should be taken into consideration. I just don't understand this whole, oh, Sean, you're being a hater. Like, what are you talking? I'm not being a hater. I'm saying The Rock got paid to make a one-time appearance that he never would have made if he was actually acting right now. What's wrong about what I'm saying?
Well, hold on. I'm going to address some of the chat comments in here too, because Guy Will Gamble, I was laughing at yours about the whole. I'll tell Sean not to put up the Punk Omega graphic no more. You guys don't have to worry about that. You don't have to see. He's chilled out now at this point. We have a better chance of Punk versus Roman than Rock Roman. Never say never, my friend. If this thing gets extended, I think you might end up seeing Rock, Cena, and Batista at Wrestle. You don't know. You don't know. You'll see. B-Boy, the only reason Rock showed up is because he needs to cover up for those wildfires. If you're talking about the Oprah thing, so let me say this. Sean, tell me the truth with this. Have you not felt that there's like a target on The Rock since then?
It's hard for me to comment on that because people think that I put a target.
You're putting the target. I mean, yeah, I guess I can see that too. But I think people are trying to cancel The Rock, and I'm like, for what?
Well, let's go on record. I'm not trying to cancel The Rock. I think that the people that are talking about this Oprah thing, they're definitely. I'm saying that The Rock, look, clear, plain as day. The Rock coming back was cool. Do I think The Rock would have come back if he wasn't on strike? No. But as far as the Oprah situation, people are really coming.
Sean, time out.
Yeah, sure.
Let me say this real quick about that. I think the stars aligned perfectly, though, or maybe it was set up. Mm-hmm. It could go either way, depending on how you believe things work. Is Pat McAfee still connected to Michael Cole in WWE? Yes. But his show happened to be there for that game. He was there for the Coach Prime game. He was there for the Colorado game, right? He wanted to cover that. Rock was in town. He decided to sneak in a WWE question because usually it's all about sports on his show, but he snuck in a little bit of a WWE question because Pat McAfee's a fan and he used to work there. Then The Rock happens to be in town. SmackDown happens to be in Denver that night, you know? Quick drive over. Let's go. Let's do it. Let's do it. Put me on at the beginning of the show, and then I got to be at the football game afterwards.
Right.
Maybe this is all a package deal. I don't know the semantics behind all of it. Mm-hmm. But the stars aligned perfectly for The Rock to show up, and he did. So I think that's where I'm like, okay, I got to give the dude props. He's been doing wrestling stuff. He doesn't really have to. He doesn't have to do wrestling.
I've never said that The Rock owes WWE anything. I said I think The Rock should show his face once a year. As a matter of, you're my witness. I think I used once a year as my benchmark, right? I said The Rock should show up once a year.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know why me saying, and I'm kind of leaning on you right now, Conrad, to answer this question. I don't know why me saying The Rock only showed up because the actors are on strike is a problem, or me being a hater. I don't understand that. I'm telling the truth.
I still think it could happen even without it, but
it hasn't in 5 years, Conrad. That's what I'm trying to say. I have some sufficient data to back up what I'm saying. You know me. I don't just run my mouth without having some kind of.
We don't count the Eric Rowan match, right?
I count it. He was there. I'm not going to take that away.
I mean, but it's not a real match, right?
Yeah, right. But
if he's going to come back against Roman,
listen. Me being a hater would say it doesn't count. I know why you're saying it doesn't count. I'll give him credit for being there for 32. I'm not going to take that.
What I'm saying is he didn't have to train to do that. He did that.
Exactly.
He could have went out there and did that. That's fine. Yeah. But what ended up happening the last time he wrestled? He tore his abductors off the bone. Like Hercules, the movie Hercules got delayed, and they were like, why did we ever let this dude talk us into letting him do a wrestling match? And that probably got him some grief. Mm-hmm. Probably messed up his money a little bit, and then he had to rehab. Not like it should matter, you know. He's rich. But I get the frustration on other people's parts, though, who, maybe it's the production guy, I'm not getting paid because The Rock did a wrestling match.
Sure.
I can feel the frustration with it. But The Rock is everything that's going to be done is going to be on Rock's terms, no matter what. I don't care what the creative said. I don't really care, because that was the excuse in the Pat McAfee show, was the match was locked in and then it wasn't because of creative, whatever you want to believe with this Rock stuff. I don't really care at this point. If he's coming back to do the match, Sean, this is what I'm asking. BJ brings up a good point here. He's actually flipped it from the way I see it. Cody Cena night one for number one contendership. Rock Roman main event night one. Then Cody wins and faces Roman night two. BJ says is the answer. What is your answer, Sean? If you're sitting there and you have these matchups in front of you, you have these free agents in front of you, and I'm not just talking about Cody and Roman or Rock and Roman. You have options sitting in front of you, lots of them right now. Do you make these moves? Is it a bad move if you do this? Do you do short-term deals? WWE has recently gotten to bed with the UFC Endeavor. They are now the TKO group. Check your Yahoo Finance. I'm not telling you to invest. I'm just saying if you like wrestling, maybe be interested in that. What do you do now? If you're sitting at this new table, Sean, it's Dana White, Vince McMahon, and all of them. What do you do? Rock's social media numbers were through the roof for him coming back.
First of all, let me say that BJ's idea was outstanding. Want to give him credit for that. That was a phenomenal idea. Something that didn't even cross.
You just need Owen at the end of the night looking up like.
Right. But to answer your question, I'd be a fool to say if these guys were available to not bring them back. Let's just call a spade a spade. He should not. Rock, not wrestling fan, which is bigger than WWE or Hollywood. I'm not hurting myself one night. WrestleMania 44 movie that pays 30 million. He can host, talk crap, do what. Amen. Exactly. Just show your face. But anyway, to answer your question, Conrad, good comment, McKinney. You'd be a fool if Rock is available, Batista's available, Punk is available, anybody's available. You bring them in for WrestleMania. I'd be a fool. Like, I'm not going to stand on my soapbox and say, "Oh, well, they're on strike, so don't bring them back. Don't just give them what." No, that's stupid. That's bad business. I say bring them back if they're available. Bring them back. I have no problem with that. I have no problem with that at all. I didn't have a problem with The Rock showing up on SmackDown. I just wasn't over the roof about it. If Rock is available in April of 2023, 24, if Punk is available, probably according to what that little comment he made on MMA, he's going to be available in 2 months, whatever that means. Survivor Series being in Chicago, wink, wink. If Batista says that he wants to come back, we all know that it's because they're on strike. But I would never stop them from coming back. Yeah, come back. It's good business for them to come back. You want to make WrestleMania 40 the biggest WrestleMania of all time.
What are your key matchups, though? That's what I'm asking you. What are, Sean, as of 9/18/2023, 6:35 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, what are your matches for WrestleMania right now? Chat, you can put yours in there, too. What are your main selling points? Let's say you can get Punk. Let's say you can get Batista, all of them. What matchups are you doing?
Undoubtedly, if Rock is available, Rock versus Roman would be my main event of night number 2, and I'd have
the belt
for the title, yes. And then I would have CM Punk in the mix some kind of way. Maybe CM Punk. I like that idea. BJ had about a number one contender match night 1 to move into night 2. But CM Punk, Rock, and Roman Reigns would be 3 people that would be locked for main events of WrestleMania. My main event of the entire weekend would be Rock. I'd be foolish not to book that. The main event of the entire weekend would be Rock versus Roman Reigns.
Interesting. I'm going to the chat. I want to hear what the chat's saying about this because we're getting a lot of comments. Vinny says, I think that he just wanted to remind people he could pull up anytime he wants and people shouldn't speculate like they're entitled to him appearing. Good point. Rock can always do that. I don't know what Doug is saying no to.
He was saying no to me being facetious about is Rock doing it.
Oh, the pay?
Yeah,
that's definitely not happening. Ray said, I really enjoyed the SmackDown for the star power alone. Cena, Rock, Mysterio, AJ Styles. I don't want to even get on how I feel like they've been treating AJ lately, but okay. They're trying to elevate him back up. Kyra, what do you think about We'll save that one for when we get to the women's talk. Eric, remind me about that. We'll bring it up. And LA Knight, yeah, LA Knight should be in a prominent spot too for WrestleMania. I think they should try to figure him in.
In my mind, there's an outside chance that LA Knight could main event night one. There's a small chance that could happen.
They might end up doing LA Knight versus Kevin Nash the way that feud's going. They need to chill. With that being said, I'd rather see Cody finish the story than see Rock versus Roman. I don't know, man. That it's good. What's more box office, a rematch or the new fresh match with the dude from Hollywood? I don't know. That's why it was a mistake not to have Cody win last year. I stand on that. Anything for them to win the ratings war. Woo, Jocelyn coming in hard with that. Punk going to fight Rollins. By the way, Jocelyn is right, Sean. Do you remember the TNA? When TNA moved to Monday nights with Bischoff and Hogan? We ain't seen Bret Hart in how many years on Monday Night Raw?
Absolutely.
Come on in, Bret. I got something for you.
Yeah.
And then changed the game, and you got Bret and Sean crushing a whole segment for like 20 minutes of them hugging. I was like, what is this? What are they doing? Punk going to fight Rollins? Be the battle of the guys who were put in the Macho Man spots for sure. Was it a one-shot deal? I assume so with Rock. Rock was probably there to talk business too, though. Rock ain't no fool. Oh, now he's on his way to getting the XFL ready. I forgot about that. Another side thing, he's got to do media for it. Seeing him was cool, but on to the next. If we keep depending on old stars to be the main event of the shows, what does that tell your locker room? Touche. What if we get Punk and Cena at WrestleMania? I always did love the dynamic.
That wouldn't bother me at all.
Let's see here. Oh, someone said Bianca and Jade. Maybe. Rock can put in his time whenever the bleep he wants. Rock, stay away from Oprah. Next you're gonna tell me Taker is gonna wrestle at Mania. I've been saying it for a minute that they can do something like that. Rob getting into the whole Oprah thing. See, people shouldn't have brought that up. Can't win for losing in the public eye. Yeah. It's been rough on him out here in these streets. Donation, but those who haven't given a dime probably feel that's not enough. Yeah. Rock versus Roman, Tribal Chief versus Cody for the title. Could be. Let me see. I'm trying to get to some different people. Rock is probably going to be the only XFL owner with a second season. I think the XFL really just needs to try to branch off into the NFL and say, like, yo, all your free agents can come over here and play, and then people could just pick them up as they want. Maybe they can do a farm system or something like that. That's their best bet to stay alive. Sean, I want to transition from WrestleMania talk into this Bloodline story. Bro, what's going on with Jimmy, bro? Like, with Jay, no matter what Sean said, I might have been like, nah, he shouldn't be the champ. I saw the reactions. I saw the fandom for the Jay Uso fans, and I got it, though. I got it. This Jimmy Uso storyline, bro? What happened? Like, yo, you ever seen the, like, devil and the angel on the two arms of the cartoon? That is what has happened to the storyline. Like, Jimmy's is horrible and Jay's was perfect. What happened here? Like, the logic behind this makes no sense anymore, and I don't get it.
Yeah, it's rough, man, because Jimmy was almost as hot as Jay was. I mean, they were a team, and like I said, you could have kept them together, and it would have been a situation where they both could have stayed hot and branched off singles, but still been together. I think it's ridiculous. I think Jimmy's looking like he's walking around aimlessly looking for a friend. The Bloodline is looking at him like he's an idiot. Other people outside the Bloodline are looking like he's soft, like he's begging for a friend. I'm sure the Bloodline will end up taking him back, but they're going to take him back with provisions. He's going to end up being Roman Reigns' lapdog, and it's a shame because at Money in the Bank in London in July, Jimmy and Jay were made men, and for some reason WWE went a different direction. I don't like what's going on with the storyline. It makes Jimmy look weak.
I'm gonna say it, bro. Can I say it? It makes him look like a sucker. That pure and simple. Why are you going back to the dude that you and your brother were feuding with, and then you said you didn't want your brother to be like him, but now you're trying to get back with him? What? Like, I'm hoping I'm hoping that someone can make this all make sense eventually. I try not to judge all these things too fast, but you know what that means when you try to give them a chance to right their wrong. You know what that means.
But then people think I'm doing the most by saying I don't watch WWE live anymore. It's stupid television, bro. It's stupid television. I'm not gonna say it's all bad. You know, Roman is must see TV when he shows up. I think Solo has potential. I love Seth Rollins. I'm starting to like the Judgment Day, but that's only a handful of things going on 5 hours, 7 if you count NXT. Um, that's worth watching, in my opinion. You know, I catch up to make sure I'm ready for the show, but it's not anything. I'm not dialed in to. I'm not dialed up in my mind and my heart to tune in on Monday nights.
Let me ask you this: how about NXT? Has that won you over yet with the whole Becky Lynch thing? Like, apparently they did like $1 million with her winning in the overrun and everything else. She finally won the NXT Women's Championship.
I think that ties in a little bit to what McKinney was talking about, but on a lesser scale, because obviously Becky Lynch is um, an active competitor. But I think the idea that you're branching off and bringing in Seth Rollins, bringing in Becky Lynch, you know, bringing in Dominic Mysterio, even though I love Dominic Mysterio in his role, that's fine. But like bringing in Becky Lynch to take the title, what does that say to your NXT roster? Even though it's internal, even though Becky Lynch is a person that's on the active roster for Monday Night Raw, you're basically telling your fans that NXT isn't enough. You brought in Becky Lynch and Becky Lynch took the title. You brought in the New Day and the New Day won the tag titles. It's like you're bringing in the big guns from the higher brands to come and take the belts away. What does that say about your current NXT roster? It says that NXT is not as good as we'd like it to be. And I think NXT has a lot of potential, but not if you keep bringing in Raw and SmackDown people taking belts away.
I hate it, by the way, super random. I hated that Pete Dunne had to cut a promo as Butch against someone who back on NXT he's going to be on for that Heritage Cup tournament thing or whatever. And I was like, why is someone who we knew as Pete Dunne here not going to be like who he is? Like, it makes zero sense. Zilch. Nada. Like, I don't get it. Tokyo the Menace, interesting comment here. Rock versus Roman will not be for the title because I have Cody win the belt off Roman at the Rumble. I don't think Rock and Roman, if that match happens, I think it's more than the title. They don't need the belt on the line, truthfully, for that matchup. That's about the tribal chief stuff. That's what that match is about. I think the title takes a back seat to that if they do that. Versus if it's Cody and Roman, the title's everything.
But Roman's not okay, that's true, but Roman's not losing the title before 40.
That's what makes it more obvious. If the title's on the line, Roman's not losing. So that's why I'm like, maybe you should wait to do that match when there's no title in a utopia of booking. Like if it was perfect, I'd be like, yeah, do it after he doesn't have the belt. But Roman Rock, CM Punk, LA Knight, Cody Cena, Rhea Becky, Gunther Rollins. Woo! That's a lineup right there. Vince will fire you in a second and say you took your ball and went home. Yeah, we know. Ask Sasha and Naomi. Nash writing a lot of checks. His knees can't cash. Yo, you gotta chill. E. If I got the pen, the OGs won't have matches. They'll be managers or hosts or guest pops because I got to get everyone in the locker room over because they're only there for one night compared to my every week guys, Cody, Roman, and everyone else. Donnie in the house. Shout out to Clash of the Podcast. Donnie, thank you. Donnie Tarantino.
Appreciate you, Donnie.
I want Cody versus Roman because it's Cody's time. But Matt, how long are we gonna be dragged? Me and Sean have been saying this with the Bloodline story is cinema. We've been dragging though, bro. Like now you're really going through rough patches because there's no Roman there. And we just got Solo. He didn't send the word yet. So Roman hasn't known what he wanted to do for 3 weeks. He's not sure.
Roman's not going to have a title defense until November. It's crazy, bro.
Cody did have a great 3-way dance with Kenny and Ibushi. I do remember that. That was good. Justice for Jimmy. Jimmy's been booked poorly. That's the issue with that. Third ending my backside. This story is off track and it keeps getting corny. They got to cut this part off real quick. I'll say it again. WWE storytelling equals the epitome of incompetence.
Amen.
Jade is coming to send Becky back to Raw. Oh, so you guys think that NXT was fire? McKinney said. McKinney, I'm still not into it fully. Like I said, I'll watch the specials, but that's it for NXT. Like I don't watch the week to week. If I got something else happening, I'm gone. Like I'm gone. If I'm like, I want to play the video game once this week, I'll do that instead. But I'll take your word for it, McKinney. That's how I feel, but it gets people talking. I respect it, Jocelyn. I respect it. Speaking of Jade Cargill, should we transition into that, Sean?
Yeah.
Time? It's that time. Let me bring up the beautiful Jade Cargill. When I heard this, I thought this has to be a joke. Jade Cargill to join WWE soon, and I was like, nah, that's got to be. It's got to be a rumor. It's got to be talk. There's no way Tony Khan's got this much bad luck right now. Or he's fumbling, whichever one. We're going to talk about that. That's the third topic for tonight. But Jade Cargill leaving. Sean, your thoughts, sir?
Not good, man. I don't like Jade going to WWE. I think they're going to ruin her like they've ruined so many others. Jade might be one of those generational talents that could overcome WWE booking. But at the same time, you hope that it's a situation where Jade doesn't end up floundering because of poor booking. You bring her in and you just never know what WWE would do. I'm sure everybody in the chat, you and me, Conrad, have our ideas that if we brought Jade Cargill into WWE, how we would do it correctly. But unfortunately, I don't think that they're going to do it correctly. And if they don't do it correctly, it could be career suicide for Jade. So I wish her all the best. I think she's an eminently talented young lady. I think that she carries herself very well inside and outside the ring. I'm a huge fan of hers, but I was not happy when I heard this rumor.
Wills, I hope you're joking with this comment. Sean, I'm going to let you read it and react first.
What am I looking at?
Right on the screen here.
Rumors and reports say WWE.
Someone tell me that Quills is just kidding right now and that has not been stated.
I don't see any LOLs in Quillie's comment.
Judy Hurricane? Judith? That's what we're going to call her? What? Yo, I hope that's a joke. So, I'm laughing right now because it can't be real. It can't be.
So my thoughts about her going to WWE being a mistake. Like that does. I've been saying the same.
I don't like this, man. I don't like this for Jade. By the way, did you catch her Rampage match with Statlander? I fell asleep during. I'm not gonna lie to everybody here. I was, and it wasn't because it was a bad match or anything like that. I fell asleep during the picture-in-picture because I had to wake up early for something for the intern. But I heard it was Jade's best match. People were saying best match they've seen her, and I know it takes two to tango with her and Stat, but
it's a good match. But the wrong person won. But then again, the right person won because she's leaving, allegedly.
Yeah, just I don't know. It comes off as sad. McKinney, hold on, he's coming in here to I think it disagrees. It makes the belts more prestigious because an NXT member is getting it back, so it works in the long run. But ask yourself, why did Becky have to go to NXT? She can't beat Rhea. Yeah, I don't like it. And McKinney said what I said about NXT feels the same way about Impact. Fair point. I like Impact because it offers something a little different than WWE is so formulaic sometimes that you're like, you got to get that out of your system sometimes. Not 3 times a week for, what is that, 6 hours? 8 maybe it's on some weeks. Yeah, you got to get that out of your system sometimes. Jocelyn said, my heart hurts with Jade leaving. She could be in Japan or Europe. I did hear somebody say that Jade had already left Orlando and she was on her way back to Atlanta because they were on the same flight as her. Let's see here. E says paid her trainer and she took her talents to Connecticut to deserve every bit for bending over for Max and how he treated Punk. Ooh. Meanwhile, people jumping the Jade bandwagon. I have seen it on both sides. I've seen people start she was never good on the AEW side, and I've seen some people on the WWE side saying she should come over here. We know how to use talent like that. We know better over here at W. Fans are so weird when it comes to this, man. I don't get it. Sorry, and E corrected. It should be TK. Roman versus Rock, Rollins versus Gunther, Royal Rumble winner. Oh, these are people dropping their Mania matches. Dakota, Io, Asuka, Kyrie Sane. I wish. Honestly, I thought Jay going to WWE was a rib. Quill said, no, that's the Vince treatment. Whew. Charlotte versus Bianca. I can see, listen, your WrestleMania matches for the women, I think, are already lined up. Charlotte and Bianca is going to be one match. You're going to get Becky versus Rhea Ripley. And then I think you're going to either have a tag title match or something else for the opening. And then you might get one more with Jade Cargill if she's going to be around.
Yeah, I would like to see Jade versus Bianca.
I think that deserves its own stage, though.
Yep.
Where that's like the big focus of one of your matches. BJ says they should call her Jade Storm and it would be better than Judy effing Hurricane. I hope this Judy Hurricane thing is a joke. Jane felt more natural in her last match, not stiff like before. Oh, Jade, I think that was supposed to be. Sean, I saw that Jade Cargill name chain post on Instagram and sent it to your messages.
Yeah, thank you, bro. I'm just in disbelief right now. That's terrible.
Sean, should she go to NXT or no?
No.
What's your feeling on that?
I don't think you should automatically go to NXT. I think Jade is a tremendous talent that should be immediately on Raw or SmackDown, but they're not going to do that. Her going to Raw or SmackDown right out the gate's a good idea, but that's a good idea, so you know what that means.
Buy the merch. Buy the merch. Sean, hold on, let me pull up Sean's name. There it is for you guys under Sean's name if you want to buy the shirt. Sean, you gotta stop looking disgusted. I'm gonna need you to smile or something here tonight. Best thing she can do for herself. AEW doesn't have the time to train her correctly. That's up to her though to go get the training too. You know what I mean? Like AEW, you're free.
True, absolutely.
They threw her on TV. They gave her This is what I'm saying. People said AEW booked her badly. No, they didn't. They really didn't. They gave her. She didn't lose a match at all until the last run. She even beat someone at the pay-per-view. Then she had to have another challenge for her to drop it. That's protecting her. And then she finally lost this match, putting someone over on your way out. Come on. Jade, could she have been used more? Yes, but she wasn't used badly, though. That's what I'm saying.
I don't think she was booked poorly.
They threw her on TV and trained her on the fly. They protected her for the 69 matches. She'll get better in NXT, McKinney thinks.
I guess. I think she's going to NXT, but that's your opinion.
Maybe Jade will come to cover Rock You like a hurricane. No. We got some agreements here. Deanna agrees with you. Jade versus Bianca is a title match on a big pay-per-view. I think it could main event a big pay-per-view. You know those shows where you're like, we could use a main event out of nowhere. Or Roman's not here this week. You know, give it to them.
Agreed.
Stand back. There's a hurricane coming through. One of my favorite. Oh, the Rock right there too. The H, I know who you are. The Hamburglar. Go get the Rock a cheeseburger. No ketchup.
That's funny.
Tokyo said burn the women's tag belts and a mid-card title gets announced at WrestleMania 40. Oh, you mean those paperweights that sit around in the WWE offices? Those belts are cursed, bro. There's no way.
I don't know where to say at this point, bro.
She was well trained. Jay was in the crowd in an X-Men Storm wig. People were wild and looking out for her on IG. Didn't rush her. Vince don't pay for music. Somebody said. He said that AEW's booking downfall happened. What is it? 75% through. When Statlander was deemed the one to dethrone her, Tony stalled that story for so dang long. She didn't do anything. It was TK not willing to change plans. I will kind of agree with BJ on this, though. I do think sometimes Tony puts his feet in the dirt too far for how like a title switch is going to happen or a change throughout injuries even.
Yeah, I feel you on that.
Jocelyn's got one here. I'm gonna let you take this one for a second, Sean.
Jocelyn says, I'm not looking forward to her doing any women's matches. It has to be intergender for me to watch her now. I'm almost there with you. I'm not quite there, but I understand why you're saying that, Jocelyn. It's like Jade at this point is so dominant in her AEW career that you kind of feel like she's in the China realm where she has to face the men. I think there's still some viable matches for her. As much as I hate to admit it, I think Jade versus Charlotte Flair would be must see, and obviously I think that Jade versus Bianca Belair would be must see. So there is some, and Jade versus Rhea Ripley I think would be must see. So there's a couple of people out there who I think would be intriguing enough to watch a pay-per-view match with. But for the most part, I see what you're saying. She's so dominant that you want to see her face a man. But I think walking in the door, you have about 3 or 4 viable female opponents.
Man, I just don't know. I just don't know at this point. Tokyo the Menace says Danielson is crushing TK when it comes to booking. He very well could be. He very well could be. There's a lot on the plate, like I said, for them when it comes up with WrestleMania being on the rise, matches that they could possibly do. Do they want to do it? Jade Cargill possibly bouncing out. It's got me going crazy. Before I move on from this, Sean, there's rumors of Ricky Starks maybe wanting to leave too when his deal is up now.
I think Ricky Starks needs to just chill. I think Ricky Starks is just not starting to crack the surface of what he can be.
If all 3 of those people leave, who we've mentioned, and excluding Punk, have you noticed the trend already, though? Who are all those people connected to?
Cody Rhodes.
Funny. I'm just saying. And it's not a bad thing. But this is why I've said since the beginning, Sean, why was it so important for Cody to get pushed hard and to get the belt?
Amen, Quilly.
Uh-oh, hold on. Pulling it up. I have a strong feeling that Jade Cargill will soon learn that the grass will not be greener on the other side. Woo. Pro Wrestling Shoot says, "Yo, what's good, Pro Wrestling Shoot? Welcome."
When they bring her out in a chicken suit, or let's stay with the hurricane thing. When they bring her out with a raincoat, everybody will be saying, "Oh, when she shouldn't have left AEW." I've said, Conrad, I said it from the start, bro. This is a huge mistake. A huge mistake. I don't like it at all.
You're not wrong, bro. E says Ricky is a given. Cody to Bruce Pritchard pipeline. I told people that Bruce Pritchard's gonna like this dude. Number one, Ricky Starks lives in Texas. Bruce Pritchard, have you ever noticed he gravitated toward Taker as much as JBL? I think Bruce Pritchard was a big reason that push happened. He likes them because they can cut promos too. Ricky will be his guy. He will be his guy. By the way, did anybody see during the Cesaro swing on Collision that Ricky did the pose during it? Hilarious if nobody caught it. You have to really be looking to see it.
Yeah.
But they're gonna love this dude. They're gonna love him. I'm telling you.
Well, he's boxing. I just think he needs a little bit more seasoning.
Yeah, and I've heard rumors he wants to get into Hollywood. Guess what Endeavor's got? An agency that gets you into big Hollywood pictures. Just peep it. Ricky Starks could do well in WWE. He could do well in AEW too if you push him. Here's my frustration. I don't want people to get this idea that WWE is the end all be all, because when you do that, you are limiting anybody and anything that comes after it. And I think that's the issue right now that AEW is facing. It's you're not good enough. You just don't have enough. This company's worth $9 billion. Sean, you will never be able to amount to that as a wrestling company if you keep comparing yourself to WWE. I'm sorry. They have a 40 year head start, 50 year? I don't know.
Almost a 50 year head start. Yep.
What do you want someone to do at this point? Like, I don't know what changes it.
It's hard, and I think they're making a lot of mistakes. I think AEW is making a lot of mistakes, and I think they're not taking advantage of WWE's mistakes. WWE's feeling complacent because AEW has been starting to slide a little bit.
BJ said, just the thought of a bad idea, not the worst, but it's not good. Let her be the heater for Bobby Lashley in the stable. Personally, I want to see her be her and good things. Just popped into the brain. I don't know if they would do that.
I think that might be
because
spot.
like you said, that might fit better with the
Yeah.
if you see them and then you're like, think album cover, think of powerful. Why wouldn't Montez have his girl in there with him?
No doubt.
You know, and she's been wrong throughout these situations. That why wouldn't she join? You could make that work too. Interesting thoughts though, BJ. She's going to get fed to Charlotte. I hope not. I hope they don't do that.
Who said that? Tokyo? That's probably true.
Tokyo.
I'm like, bro.
Deanna said, ask Karrion Kross about bad outfits. Yeah, when they had him coming out like Demolition Cross.
Facts, Deanna.
Horrible.
Quilly agrees. Yep.
She will never get the training she needs in AEW. Even Mark Henry said this. Well, but then what's going on the 5 or 6 other days during the week? Isn't that up to, I don't know. I feel like, am I wrong for thinking that that's up to the talent to go and seek out that training? Or is it just that QT's not going to offer the same training that NXT does? I don't get it.
The Performance Center is one of them. Performance Center is state of the art. Nobody will ever take that away from them. They have the best in the world as it relates to training. I just don't think from a storyline perspective, they're that ahead of the game as much as we think they are.
Eric Douglas asked this question. Another Cody guy, by the way, for those who don't know. Will Pritchard like MJF? Yes, I guarantee it. I guarantee it. AEW needs a PC. So you recommend spending more money?
Power plant.
Listen, I can see that. Like they said, you could put it between Florida, Georgia, wherever you want. That's up to them, but you think they need a PC or a power plant type of area for them?
I mean, I don't think they need it. I'll put it like this: it couldn't hurt. It couldn't hurt.
You got a lot of people. You can get Dustin and others in there on it.
Yeah, I mean, that could free up some opportunities for some of the aging stars that probably won't have a spot on the roster 5 years from now.
He said Vince's granddaddy ran that company way more than 50 years. Stop throwing all the black people together in stables. I did see that post this week. Ryan Satin made a big mistake saying that, and people got on him immediately. Charlotte was prepared for the hurricane. Oh, stop that name. They said Judy Hurricane, Eric. The crab mask. Here we go. Jade has she wants her daughter to be with her when she comes down the ramp. Will they still allow that? I think WWE will allow that now. They've been doing some of those special entrances.
I don't talk crap about WWE like that. I don't think they have anything against family.
Derek said Jade versus RKO. You ain't getting that match. Maybe in the video games. Outside, and I'm talking about the when you have to change the settings in them too.
Yeah.
Outside Bianca, WWE doesn't have a good history of pushing fully African American women. You sound like you want this one.
No, there's the previous one that Tokyo put up. It's so true. It's like, it's so painfully obvious that this comment by Tokyo the Menace is so accurate. And I just wish that even though they're probably going to back the Brinks trucks up for Jade Cargill, that she should see those that have come before her and been disrespected, misused, and underutilized, bro. Jade Cargill's going to walk in, just like Quilly said, man. She's going to walk in that door, and she's going to realize that this grass is just not as green as I thought it was. I'm telling you, I hope I'm wrong, because I love me some Jade Cargill. I think she's a tremendous talent, but man, oh man. Ooh. Yeah.
Danielson did help. Danielson's like the Regal for Danielson. So Bryan Danielson was trained by Shawn Michaels, but he was really trained by William Regal. Mm-hmm. He got the basics from Shawn, and Regal let him go to school.
No, Bianca, PWS. Bianca wasn't misused. Tokyo said everybody except Bianca.
He said you gotta Shibata, you gotta go Shibata and open up a dojo. They might need to. McKinney said what we have to realize is that a lot of stars only know WWE or WCW. So there was that dream of so going there was a dream. So now I'm at AEW doing nothing. Why not jump over and see what's going on over there? I bet Wardlow goes too. I can see that too.
Not
I can see more.
not saying they won't. They probably will, but that doesn't mean it's going to work out.
Did you understand what I was saying though before, Sean?
Yeah,
Like you cannot. When I keep saying this though, it's not like, oh, let's see what WWE's got to offer and all that stuff. Somebody's got to have the gall to say, well, no, AEW needs to stay around because guess what happens when everybody goes over there and Tony's like, you know what? I'm just going to shut this down and go back to doing football and soccer. Tony's going to be fine. Tony ain't got nothing to worry about. The issue is going to come when there's no secondary wrestling company, and then we're back to, well, now you're going to pay $50 for this WWE pay-per-view if you want to see it. You have to watch this bad Raw because I'm not going to try anymore.
Yep.
That's what happens eventually, and that's not good. BJ says, just to be clear, that was not my intention. I'm just an advocate against it. I was just saying if she would be like a Rhea/China role, unless they turn Cody heel. That was my second thought. So she takes the place of Brandy and does that? Could. I think a lot of people would be too intimidated to have Jade next to them.
Agreed.
Oh, God, Judy Hurricane. Quill, stop posting that, please. I cannot see that name anymore because I'm getting angry just thinking about it. It's not the worst name, but I'm just like, I don't like it. Nightmare Factory was part of the process. A lot of people trained there. Mm-hmm. One wrestler can't offer what the PC will. Plus, Jade was a Punk girl. Punk probably suggested WWE. Could have been, too.
Maybe so.
Why not? He was angry, too. That's the other thing that would help AEW if they did get a training center is, would you be respectful in the rankings to move up? Because that seems to be an issue. Some guys are like, well, my indie stuff always works, so I'm just going to do that. Yeah. And some of these trainers aren't going to go for that. They're going to be like, no, you need to sit down and show some respect.
Facts. I agree with that.
Chris Hero, AR Fox, Dustin Rhodes, they got some trainers plus MMA expert Jeff Jarrett. Don't you ever say that again, because he beat Kurt Angle in that MMA match. Don't ever let me see that again in this chat. AEW was supposed to do a PC. That was the goal, to have Ace Steel run it, but once they fired Ace Steel, that went out the window. Why would you do that? Linda Miles. Oh, I haven't heard that name in a minute. Remember her with the Bashams?
I do. She won Tough Enough, right?
Yes. That was some wild stuff that they had them doing on screen.
Was.
Yeah. Jade and Mercedes are gonna pass right by one another. Yeah. Ooh, I hate that. If that's what's going to end up happening.
DJ, that's tight, but it's right, brother. That's exactly what's probably going to happen.
He said Raw 2008 when I was making my comparisons.
Oh, okay.
McKinney said, I think black women get a better shake than black men because just about every black woman has held the title. It's the booking of the black women that sucked and we didn't care, but I understand. I love that everybody's understanding and listening. Oh, here we go. Who said it was open mic night? Oh, I hate that Brandy thing that everyone was posting. As soon as Kyra said replace Brandy, I heard, who told you it was open mic night in my head? Oh, my goodness. Jocelyn said, I watched AEW and Brian Cage looks out of place with the Mogul Embassy. Has Big Brother Kush not... Yo, I swear, someone put this 1 hour, 2 minutes, and 25 seconds. Get Sean dancing to this and put Swerve's music to it right now. And please swerve responsibly if you are driving in a car listening to it.
I love it.
Yeah. Yo, I wish I had Derek doing the dance. We may have to get Derek on TikTok or something to do the dance one time.
Yeah, I'm down. That's dope.
Conrad, I don't want to post that name, but trust me, I don't. I'm heated about it with you, yo, Quills. I know, bro. I know you are. Linda Miles at Shaniqua. When is Jeff Jarrett going to the UFC Hall of Fame? I'm going to need y'all to stop talking like this.
Wow.
Dana White will end up flipping. Well, let me not even make. You know what? The joke was there. I'm gonna just strike out on purpose, just because that was about to be a grand slam. Wink face. Mercedes will come back and get injured again. Oh, come on now. Mercedes is good. Pro Wrestler Shoe said, I'm not saying I only want one company, but WWE has always been the goal for any wrestler. If they say it, It's not. They're lying. I think there's a few people, though, that don't feel that way, though. I think Eddie Kingston's speaking the truth when he says he doesn't care if he goes to WWE or not.
Yeah, I think he's at a stage in his career, he's not going to stress it like that.
Yeah, because he got told no so many times. He's like, well, what do you want me for now? Why? What are you going to do? The price in your brand will immediately go up with X WWE star at the end. But then people get mad when Tony... Here's what I'm saying. Stop, Sean. Stop. I have to focus. Sean Nana over here, Prince Sean over here giving the dance tutorial. But that's my point, though. Like, if Tony signs ex-WWE guys, it's a problem. But then the price of your brand goes up if it says ex-WWE. So you get what I'm saying? Like, WWE's in a can't-lose situation, and AEW's in a can't-win. What do you want? What do you want them to do?
No, real talk. All jokes aside, that's a solid point you make, Conrad. That's true.
That's why I kept telling people too. Like when Vince wants you to curl up, when Tony responds back, everybody's like, "Tony shouldn't be talking like that." I'm like, "Yes, he should." Vince doesn't respect you if you ball up into a little ball like this. As you say, "Okay, I'm gonna go over here." Right. He's gonna be like, "Oh, I'm about to smack you now because I know you're afraid of me. Like you're gonna run every time I do that. So don't do that. Don't run from him. Stand up to the bully." Brian Cage looks out of place in a shirt. He belongs in a Super Mario Brothers game.
That was a guy. You know what?
I wish I had the Mario Brothers music right now.
I got it. That was a good one.
I just re-downloaded my editing suite today. Let's go, BJ.
Oh, by the way,
Alicia.
I was gonna say. Like I said, that was BJ's comment earlier about the WrestleMania, and now this redone. He's kind of on a roll tonight too.
I need a video of Derek and Hubbs doing the swerve. Derek, Hub, you got to put that on the TikTok now. Somebody give it to him.
And actually, I'm not gonna cap. Like I think I actually do it halfway decent.
No, bro, I've seen you do the Dougie. You're all right. Check out Sean's TikTok. And the UFC's next inductee is Jeff Jarrett. Who's on that though, Conrad? Is that the fans or is that on Tony? Both. The fans are part of the Okay, here's another thing. People hate when me and my brother do this, but we always tell the truth. We always blame the owner, the coach, the GM, whatever we watch, right? Wrestling, sports, whatever. What about the fans too, though? The fans play a part in this. The fans acting like WWE's the end of this Bloodline storyline is cinema. Bro, pump the brakes. Sean did a whole episode about like what are some of the best storylines in wrestling, and I'm like, bro, are we really gonna say that the storyline is the best thing ever in the history of the company? Like, just think about what you're saying for a second. The history of the company. There are some great, like, small time stories you could tell.
Totally.
Hold on. He put up a quote. I'm not going to listen to the criticism when it comes to the booking of our shows because we kill it every time. Tony goes to check Cage Match and Meltzer. That's Tony's fault, 100%. I don't disagree with that. Tony has to bear some of the blame too. What I'm saying is the fans don't get to escape blame and then offer all these critiques. And then when something goes right, I told you this was going to happen. Cut it out. Because WWE fans should be wanting AEW to succeed just as bad, and AEW fans should be wanting WWE to succeed just as bad. I promise you. It's better for all of us in the end. But I've only sat through the closing down of USWA. You name the wrestling company, we've been there for it. Ring of Honor originally.
Ring of Honor, yep.
WCW. How sad. I thought that was a glorious day when I was a kid. Now I look back at it, I was like, that was a bad... what year would you say you thought it was a bad idea after?
2003.
Yep, right around then. In high school, I remember I was like, that was a bad idea. We needed that back.
About a year after I got past the whole, Hogan Rock phenomenon, Rock and Stone Cold NWO, when we thought NWO still might be... By 2003, we realized it was a huge mistake.
So Sean could teach me how to Dougie. I've only been waiting for 15 years. Sean can give you the tutorial. I'm telling you, it's pretty good. Hubbs versus Derek in the dance-off. Derek body can't hold up no more. I got Sean probably winning that one. Derek Bowles going to be... Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Got to recalibrate. So am I supposed to just act like All In and All Out was booked well? No, I'm not saying that. You don't have to act like the shows were booked well. But at the same token, it doesn't help when people are acting like WWE is the end all be all.
Certainly
It doesn't have to be.
Certainly doesn't.
It doesn't. Why isn't Okada over there?
There are people that
He's
could
one
have.
of the best wrestlers.
There are so many people that have
Will
had
Ospreay.
the opportunity to go, and they just have said no, thank you. I mean, that has to mean something. That just because the AJ Styles of the world made the decision,
Sting. Look how long Sting did it.
right? And you know what? You ask Sting, he'll tell you he regrets it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and if you go back, I didn't even notice this until someone pointed out on Twitter recently. Michael Cole said, "This is what it feels to be in the big time, Sting." And I was like, what a disrespectful comment to make.
And let me,
To
and
Sting.
I'll be clear about my statement. I bet you, I bet if you asked Sting, he would say he regrets it.
I literally only watch AEW on TV, but it's getting so stale. I'm actually going to tune in Raw for the first time in a couple months. Tell me if you tune in for all 3 hours tonight. Tell me. And then ask everybody what the matches were from last week and the week before that and the week before that.
Pathetic.
It's been the same thing.
I don't know why so many people have have not understood. This is not a good product, bro. Like, I don't understand what. I mean, you have cool moments like the Judgment Day winning the tag titles. It's like, oh yeah, the Judgment Day have, but it's like,
I need you to chill. He's not lying though, but I'm gonna need you to chill. You saw what Impact did with him. Yeah. And Deanna makes a good point. I want them all to do well so I get choices. That'll be on in the background. See, no, sit through them 3 hours of Raw. Stay laser focused in on it. You'll be asleep in no time. Trust me.
It's almost impossible to watch Raw and not turn the channel, bro. It's almost impossible. When I see Tozawa facing Elias, I know Elias is not around anymore, but I'm just using it. Like it's comically bad. It's comically bad. It's like you're like, is this real? Is this real? And then you'll get excited. Then you'll get excited when you hear Judgment Day's music, but it's only because Judgment Day is bringing out Rhea Ripley to face Natalya for the 700th time.
But I want to, you know what? Pro Wrestling Shoot brings up a good comment, and I did want to talk about parts of this. Let's talk about some of the bad that Tony Khan is doing with the Jade Cargill situation. Did Tony fumble? Did Tony fumble the ball with her leaving?
Tony's been fumbling.
Say it again?
Tony's been fumbling.
Punk. I have Punk next to his name in the graphic. This is another part of Will You Please Fix It? The ticket sales. Look at your ticket. Bro, we lost CM Punk and now we lost Jade Cargill. Two people that I was excited for the present and one I was excited for the future of this company. And I got the Elite doing victory laps. Are you freaking kidding me right now? Yo, we talk about Tony reeling it in and putting the thumb down on people. He needs to put the thumb down on that garbage because that's ridiculous. Yo, first off, nobody cheered for Okada with the balloon. Nobody. Second off, what? I don't know, bro. Like I said, there ain't nothing to be doing victory laps about right now if I'm in AEW.
And I bet you this Wrestle Dream's not going to be all that great either. We'll see.
The card looks pretty solid right now, but I want
go wrong with Sabre Jr. versus Danielson. I mean, obviously that's going to be a banger, but
FTR versus Aussie Open, like you're golden. You're golden. He said, "Man, I gotta cook dinner. Here we go. You better pop that mac and cheese in that microwave and come on out, Sonny. Enjoy." Ooh, people are saying fumble. Ooh, the last few weeks I have not watched or slept. Wow. We got Will coming in too. Yeah, Will Ospreay will probably be there too for the show.
Yeah,
it's gonna be something. It's gonna be something.
And on the WWE side, it's not looking better either. I mean,
WWE selling out shows. Sean, what does AEW need to do? Is it the pricing of the tickets? Is it the stars? Is it the lack of storytelling for people? What's wrong? You're not going to Grand Slam, right?
No.
Tickets are 2 for 1, by the way, if you do change your mind at the last second.
Yeah, I'm not going. I have no interest in going. That's the problem.
But what could they do then? What was the issue for you personally? What is Sean Hubbard? Why do you not want to go?
If they don't care, why should I? you're showing. How can you be complacent when you're the second best? And it pains me to say that. It pains me to say that. But it's like I'm not going to support a company that sits up here and continues to do complacent and out of place things. Tony Khan is starting to show himself to be someone who doesn't know how to manage his company properly. And like you just pointed out accurately, the Young Bucks are doing victory laps. The elite gets to do whatever they want. CM Punk is gone. Jade Cargill is gone. You're floundering, all while WWE is floundering. But WWE is keeping their head above water because WWE does things like bringing out The Rock and giving the illusion that they care when they really don't. But they know that they're winning, so they don't have to care. You know what I'm saying? You have to show a sense of urgency. AEW has to start showing a sense of urgency. The same urgency that they showed when they were 6 months in. We need to start bringing people. We need to start aggressively signing people. I know you said it's bad to base everything on bringing in new people for your pay-per-views. All Out sucked. All Out sucked. You better do something different, or you're going to have a big problem. A big problem. And I think they already do.
And I thought what Pro Wrestling Shoot said, I thought Tony made a mistake in the media scrum by doubling down. Yeah. I think he made a big mistake doubling down on that.
It seemed like that comment came across as arrogant to me.
Yes. Oh, asinine, maybe? Like, you shouldn't talk like that when it comes to it. Pro Wrestling Shoot said, yo, just know these opinions are definitely in the minority. We just sold out a house show for WWE that had more attendance than the last 5 Dynamites. Wrestle Dream has tickets for days. Okay. But here's my thing.
It's so frustrating. I like pro wrestling. I like PWS. It's so frustrating though. Like,
to hear what he's saying, right? Because you're telling me that a house show means more to you guys than a pay-per-view. And then I'll hear fans later say, how come we don't get pay-per-views here? Why would they come back? Why would they come back to your market then? You told them no thanks. I'm good. WWE should probably come there for a pay-per-view then. But are they? Hey, England, we got something for you, you know? Let me get those turnstile numbers from AEW real quick.
Right.
What do you got? What do you got for me? Who asked for those, by the way? Like, I would love to know. Was it WrestleNomics that asked for them and then put them out, or did somebody else? Like, just very weird. Very weird how that whole thing came about.
WCW didn't have a lot of business models. That is something that I would model after. But if I were AEW, I'd do one thing that WCW used to do, and that's give tickets away. If you're seeing, forget half off. You need to do it. Yes, sell what you can, but you know what? When we're 2 weeks out and we've only sold 1/3, I'm so sick and tired of this half crowd crap. I don't care if you have to give tickets away. Do what you have to do to fill the building. Obviously, and let me be clear about my stance. Obviously, the best thing to do is sell out for real. But if you see it's not working out that way, you better do something.
Facts, Quills, on the announcer thing that you had just put up. You know who isn't bad at U.S. Wrestling? Impact. How come more people don't go to the shows though? This is my argument. But then we watch WWE, and here's the thing: I won't let people tell me different because I watch the shows. They put on the same matches.
Yep.
I'm sorry. You can put on Kevin Owens versus Damian Priest, then next week it's Sami Zayn versus Finn, then it'll be Sami versus Damian Priest, and you can tell me that they're different matches. It's the same people in the same matches for weeks on weeks on weeks. How many Judgment Day, Sami Zayn, and KO matches did you see in some variation or form?
Ridiculous. It's every week. Every week it's some incarnation. It's either Sami versus one of the Judgment Day one-on-one, Kevin versus one of this Judgment Day one-on-one, a run-in by the Judgment Day, a run-in by Kevin. It's like we're talking about months and months of the same crap every week.
Pro Wrestling Shoot said he's got tickets for the pay-per-view. I respect it. I know you do. But what I'm saying is there should be more people in the market. And I do believe Pro Wrestling Shoot has told me, like, he was trying to ask people their thoughts about it. And people were just kind of like, oh, I don't watch that WWE stuff. And and he said, like, people maybe made it sound like they had never heard of AEW. And I said, that's a lie. That is a lie as a wrestling fan. Because if you're watching WWE on social media, you get ads for AEW. And I get them for WWE as well when I'm looking at AEW stuff. Don't tell me these lies that you haven't seen it, you haven't heard it. And don't act like AEW's marketing like Impact. Sean, I remember one year Impact came here and I got tickets the day before. You know how I found out? Somebody posted it on Facebook that they were coming. Like somebody at a local baseball area was like, oh, there's going to be wrestling at the arena. I go to look. I'm like, Impact's coming here? Why didn't they say something on TV?
Right.
Don't ever compare AEW to Impact when it comes to marketing at their prime. Impact was horrible.
It was.
Horrible.
It was.
Horrible when it comes to it. What I'm saying is when you're pooping on AEW, I'm going to say the same thing I said for the Fight Forever game. I don't want to hear no crying. I don't want to hear no belly aching when there's no other game for you to play. I don't want to hear no crying.
That's what's going to happen. And you know something? As somebody who went out and bought the game, I'll use that as an example. I didn't like it, but I didn't crap all over it because I want them to get better. But to say, oh, WWE is the only thing I'm going to ever buy ever again, it's stupid. It's stupid.
Yeah, I don't get why people like it. And I think Pro Wrestling Shoot's criticisms are valid, though, for AEW as a market.
Pro Wrestling Shoot is smart. I just think that, like, at the end of the day, I don't like what he's saying, but I get it, though. He's in the ballpark. It's real what he's saying. The numbers don't lie. I just think the numbers are not the be-all and end-all.
The numbers don't make sense to us is what it really comes down to. Like, I'm like, it doesn't. To this day, I'll look at it raw, and I'll be like, why is this show getting such great ratings? This does not make sense to me. What is so great about this that you guys are like, it's unbelievable, bro? I want someone who is excited about WWE to message me and tell me why it's so great. Tell me. I feel like I could go point and counterpoint all night for this stuff. Now, with all the bad that we talked about with AEW, with the turnstiles, the ticket sales, and everything else, there is some good news on the horizon for them. Rumor is, Sean, HBO Max, now known as Max, will be getting some it sounds like by 2024 they should be on there with the pay-per-views and such, which is a good thing. I think it should be part of the Max subscription.
100%.
I really don't think you should be charging for it. That's just me. It'll bring a lot of new eyes to it, but HBO Max is a big dog, man. They might say you got to pay 10 extra bucks to get those pay-per-views if you want them. They might add a tier to it. I don't know what they're going to do, but the chances are there. But with that rumor, this gets into the WCW Eric Bischoff stuff. They want 12 pay-per-views.
Oh, sweet God.
They want 12 pay-per-views now, which I get, though, because they're like, well, we want more content than your 4 pay-per-views. I want a reason for people to subscribe. I want people to come back to my platform every month. You get what I'm saying? I get why they want it. It's a number generating thing.
I get it too, but it's a mistake. It's a freaking mistake.
It's people not understanding wrestling fans, I think, to an extent. But this is what someone proposed as the lineup. Big shout out to Air Gold, All Elite Air Gold on Twitter. I borrowed this from their page, so make sure you if you like this, go give them a subscribe.
And by the
they're
way,
proposing.
This is exactly what WCW did. They used to do the Clash of the Champions and pay-per-views. New Year's Smash. Bring it back up for me, bro, please. New Year's Smash, Fyter Fest, Beach Break, and Winter is Coming, and Blood and Guts are all free shows that come on weekly, on the weekly episodes. And now they're going to make them pay-per-views. That's not like the WCW model. That's exactly the WCW model.
I mean,
they phased out Clash of the Champions, remember? They used to do 4 or 5 clashes a year, and they phased them out.
Yep, and they went to the pay, but that ended up making them more money. Supposedly, that's what saved WCW as well, or excuse me, WWF as well in '97 when they went to the 12 pay-per-view model, because they had to. Eric Bischoff and them did a lot of good, and at the same token, they did a lot of harm, depending on how you want to view what they did, like putting big pay-per-view matches on television for free. I see good and bad with that. There's a lot to it than that. So let me see. I already saw one funny comment in here. WWE is straight up rinse, lather, repeat. Rinse, lather, repeat.
Quilly is hilarious. Yo, Quills, that's facts, though.
Jocelyn said it may not matter to some, but most tickets sell the day closer to showtime after it has started. That isn't considered. That is true. People will pop up for those at the last second. The numbers don't lie, and they spell disaster for U.S. Sacrifice. I just want to watch Cody versus Kingston again in HD. Yes. I ain't buying no more pay-per-views if they do in 12. Yeah, I'm not paying 50. Believe that. You out of your mind if you think I'm paying 50 for all those. Max needs something on their streaming. That's the only thing I'm watching is Adventure Time. Spin-off. They've got some good stuff on there. Like Peacemaker was really good. I enjoyed that on there. There's shows on there. They got great movies.
Winning Time, the Lakers dynasty story.
I heard a lot of people were upset about season 2. They just announced they're canceled after this.
It's crazy. I like the show, but you know what?
I didn't think they advertised season 2 really well for it.
They didn't. But just to prove I'm not a Rock hater, I was sad that they different network. Obviously, I was sad when they canceled Young Rock.
Look at E. Tony booking month to month plus ROH. We in trouble. Yeah. I mean, could ROH fill in those gaps of like the winter is coming and stuff like that? They have shows during those times.
Bro, do me a favor.
I'd be okay with that.
Highlight Tokyo's comment. Now check this out. Now here's the significance of that comment. Shout out to Tokyo. We barely care about Fyter Fest now. You feel me? We barely care about Fyter Fest now. And Fyter Fest.
And by the way, that was all a spitball idea. None of that is finalized.
No, I'm just saying, but let's just use that as an example. And Fyter Fest is free. It is free. Imagine if they turned Fyter Fest into a $50 pay-per-view. Are you kidding me? I'm not paying no $50 for Fyter Fest.
$5, please, as he always puts in the chat. Pro Wrestling Shoe said, I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing to have 12 pay-per-views. Well, let me say this, though. He's going to need better booking then. Your storylines are going to have to make sense month to month. You can't do that long-term. We're going to coast for 2 to 3 months now. You can't. You're going to have to put on some. How do you put on Fire Dynamites and then the pay-per-view in 4 weeks, every week? That's going to be rough. Only if when it comes to the subscription. I feel better about their crap booking if it already comes with the sub. Okay. Conrad, read my Impact Wrestling pay-per-view comment. I think I did before, didn't I? Let me see here. Lately, compared to WWE, AEW pay-per-views, Impact Wrestling's been putting on better pay-per-view events in regards to quality and wrestling quality. But what's that getting them, though? That's going to be the argument, though. I love Impact Wrestling. I love it more than most in here. But what's that going to get? Donnie said Fyter Fest sucks. No lies detected, bro.
He's not lying.
But yeah, Quills, I agree with it, but I also see the issue with it. Jesse gonna be buying me the pay-per-views that y'all gonna be signing up for that one subscription together, huh? Venture Bros movie on Max, interview with the vampire, the Batman movies, the animated series. The Harley Quinn series is really good on there too. Really good. I don't know, Sean. I don't know. But I think there's a lot of can you please fix it? Can you WrestleMania 40? What's the plans? Can you fix it? Jade Cargill, why is she leaving AEW? Can you fix it? WWE, Judy Hurricane, can you please fix it? HBO Max, 12 pay-per-views, can you please fix it? Low ticket sales, can you please fix it? Miscounted turnstile numbers, can you please fix it? That's why this was called Can You Please Fix It. That's why this episode was named that.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's a tough time.
McKinney says, what happened to that Jason Williams guy, if that's his name, that TK hired that was a writer? Huh?
I don't
remember TK hiring a writer. Anyone else? McKinney, if you find an article for that, send me a link, bro, because I don't remember him hiring someone for that. Did you guys see the wrestlers? I have not, even though I did hear a certain name mentioned in it, but I have not. I did see a little meme, though, of Al Snow when they said, what is deathmatch wrestling? And he basically put explicitive garbage.
Yo, Max, by the way, is already like $14.99. I don't know what I know darn well they don't expect me to pay $24.99. That's not happening.
No, certain things should be left alone in general. That's a fact. The illegal wrestler stream is going to get crowded. Somebody said. I won't pay extra for Max is what I'm saying. If it's the same price as I'm paying, I'm cool. Better than paying $50 a show. Yeah, and I think Max wants to get more people over there. That might be a way to do it. Is there logic? I don't know. Sean, please stop. Please. Sean, take us out of here so you stop doing that dance.
I'm doing the dance.
You gotta make a video. You gotta make a video now.
I'm doing the dance to make myself feel better because wrestling sucks right now. I just can't take it anymore, man. I can't take it. I used to look forward to Wednesday nights to save me from Mondays and Fridays, and now Wednesdays are starting to get boring too. I hope they can fix it. I love this show. I think this is a great show. It's talking about some of the ins and outs and the things that these companies need to do to better themselves. But we'll see how it works out. Monday Night Raw is in a few minutes. I will not be watching. Dynamite I'll probably watch just because I want to get geared up for Conrad and Derek's wrap-up show at 10:05 on the Everything Pro Wrestling channel. So make sure you're ready to tune in to that on Wednesday night. Watch Grand Slam first, I guess. And, hopefully, it'll be a situation where you'll be hyped up to listen to Conrad and Derek very accurately break that thing down. As Joel was saying earlier, we're going to be having some preview stuff coming up for Canelo, the upcoming Canelo fight, as he's about to defend his championships in a unification match. It's going to be a big night on pay-per-view coming up on Fight, I believe. I'm not 100% sure. Let me take that back. I'm not sure if that's going to be the case, but we'll see. But I know that Joel's a big boxing fan, and we might have some stuff cooking up with that coming up soon. Big shout out to the chat as usual. We're fired up. Double nickel, as Quilly called it, the double nickel episode of Clash of the Podcast, and next week will be the Lawrence Taylor episode of Clash of the Podcast, the big 5-6. Once again, big shout out to Coach Prime and the Colorado Buffaloes, man. Love what you guys are doing for the culture. Big shout out to the pro wrestling community, man. We want to see the pro wrestling community thrive. That's what this is all about. And obviously continue to support two young black men trying to do their thing in the world of podcasting. It's very a tough field. We're just trying to come up and give you guys quality content. It seems to me like you guys may like us just a smidge. And if that's the case, we certainly appreciate you guys. The people like McKinney and Quilly and Gamble sending me DMs and stuff like that with the updates, I really appreciate you guys. M. Leezy for Sheezy on Twitter, all you guys. Jocelyn, the list goes on and on. We certainly appreciate it. And please continue to subscribe. If you haven't subscribed already, go subscribe to Hubbard Wrestling Weekly. Go subscribe to Everything Pro Wrestling so we can keep you posted. Shout out to Easy as well. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to BJ. Everybody in here, man. We appreciate y'all. So keep locked in. We got more stuff coming. We'll see you next week, 6:05 sharp for Clash of the Podcast. Always remember, God is good all the time and evil never prevails. We'll check you next time.